Hi, I'm Laura DeAngelis, and Tic Tac over here, he wants to go play with all his little buddies, just like Dino. Tic Tac Dino, just one of the many dogs. We're going to talk about dog training right here at McCann's, as well as if you have a new family, we're going to tell you how your dog could be integrated with the new addition to the family. We're going to explain a whole lot more right here. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Don't call my name, don't call my name, Alejandro. I want you, babe, I want you, babe, Fernando. Don't wanna kiss, don't wanna touch, just want my cigarette.
Playing with dogs this morning.
Oh, Lori, this looks like so
guys.
much fun.
Oh, I'm in heaven right now.
Oh, yeah.
There are dogs as well as babies, and we're going to explain everything. McCann's here have been going on for 30 years, this location about 15. We're going to introduce you very quickly, not only to Marty, but I just want to introduce you. Oh, she's just a little tired. We have your 8-week-old baby Avery. We're going to explain the relationship that you can have with your dog, as well as the new addition to the family, and how everything doesn't have to be stressful, but it could also be relaxing as well. But you need the right tools. Now, along with, bye Avery, see you later. Along with that, let's focus on the dogs too. We have here Tic Tac, and this is Batman, as well as Lulu, just one of the many dogs. Tic Tac is just dying to play,
yes, he is.
Marty. But when we look at this place right over here, this is just one section.
This is dog agility. This is our new arena. It's a sports field for dogs, but primarily our core business is training family pets to come when they're called, not to jump on guests, not to nip, you know, not to chew things, just to be a well-behaved member of the family. So that's what we do primarily. We have over 500 dogs and their owners come to class every week, and we train the people mainly. The dogs are easy.
But you know what? By having a well-trained dog, it builds a lot of confidence. It really does. Not only for the owner, but for the dog as well. And with confidence comes a better relationship.
It definitely improves the human-animal bond. There's no doubt about that. Dogs that are trained live longer because they get into less mischief, and they're safer and they're healthier. So we're seeing dogs live probably 15 years and plus these days because they've got better health care, better nutrition, and better training.
Next up, what we're going to do is explain the relationship between your new bundle of joy as well as your family prior, like Tic Tac, Batman, and Lulu. We're going to explain more right here at McCann's. Please stay with us. Smile, guys. We'll be right back.
She's a monster.
Back to the dogs.
And the babies.
And the babies. That's where
Well, you know
Lori
what's
is.
funny? When the baby was crying, in the background, you see Jane and I just going, shh, shh. It's just funny how that mom instinct just turns on very quickly. What we want to talk about here at McCann's is that an important part of training here is also introducing the new addition to the dog. But there are some key tips, according to Jane, that you should do prior to the baby coming in. What are some of the key points
Lori,
here?
a lot of the success with the baby, we've had all our time focused on the baby in the beginning, and we're going to be keeping the baby, and we're going to be keeping the dog. So we need to start to substitute and let that dog, allow them to learn how to share some of that time with the new baby. He thinks that agility down there is neat. Eh? So one of the first things is obedience. We want to teach our dogs some basic skills that they're going to be comfortable with well before the baby arrives. So Viper, here, down. Good, down. Sit. Good, sit. And then I can stimulate him and excite him and then turn that excitement level off again, because that's what will happen with the baby.
For example, when the baby is
crying or moving around. So if I did with him, playtime, sit. He can stop and sit right away. In addition with that, I'd certainly be teaching the dog a little bit about the scent of the baby. So I would get a diaper. In the beginning, any diaper would do. I would have a doll, and I would get that baby accustomed to the fact, or the dog, sorry, accustomed to the fact. Viper, here.
Come here, Viper.
Go see. Viper, here. Go see. Good. Very gently. Go see. Good. Off. Go see. Off. I want him to become familiar, quiet with the fact that there's a diaper involved. I'd also teach him that when I'm holding something, such as this blanket, that in the beginning, Viper, here. It's in my arms, good, that he's gentle, it's not a toy, it's not a play toy. So that he has play toys, but this isn't one of them. I don't want him grabbing and biting this. And when I put it on the ground, off, that it's that particular blanket is not his. Now he has blankets on the ground that are his. So my job right now is to teach him that's not his. So I off, here, good, wait, here, good.
So this
Off,
is where training
here. Yes.
is a huge factor. If
yes.
you were very sort of relaxed with your dog beforehand, you have to really get that enforcement of what is yours, what is not, and sort of build that
Yes.
relationship just before the
Yes.
baby comes.
Wait, you don't want to change your demeanor, you know, so that the dog feels left out. Viper off, good off. But what he does need to know is that you're taking a leadership role in this, and that you have a set of expectations and basically house rules that you're going to teach the dog how to insist.
We're going to explain and give you some
Right
more
here.
tips so the whole
Right here.
so the dog still feels like a part of the family coming up a little later on. Bob, Brian and Annette.
Okay. Thank you, Lauren.
And this is what we want to enforce here at McCann's, the fact that not only can you also train your dog to do a lot of tricks and also obedience, but also how to incorporate the new addition to the family. Once again, we have here Jane. Just as we mentioned during the promo, if they hear something like a cry, what is something that you could do to teach your dog what to do in that situation?
Lori, very beneficial to teach your dog guidelines. Guidelines allow you to have peace in your family and make things work smoothly. So he loves this little squeaky. So I would set up a situation where he's aroused. Ready? Get it. So squeak. Settle. So that he understands with a command settle that even though the toy's still there and squeaking, even though it's in front of him, leave it, drop it. Good, drop it. Good boy, good drop. So that he understands how to take, how to release, right? Leave it. So if he's told to leave it now, he'll actually leave it. Yes, and I can reinforce that with a little bit of food, and I can reinforce it with praise. So
And reinforcing with praise and food is a huge factor as well.
so important. You want it to be inclusive with the dog and the baby. A lot of trouble happens because the dog feels rejected. And you want that dog to be included, but with wise guidelines. So being able to take it when asked, get it, out, leave it, means that the dog can leave it, drop it, leave it. Good, leave it.
What about greeting? Greeting is a huge thing.
Now to me, thank you. What we're going to do is make sure that we put a leash on the dog when they do this exercise.
Why is that important?
You want to be able to control where the dog's position is with the baby. I don't want to just hold back and keep him tight though, because that pulling back on him will make it more encouraging for him to drive forward. So when we actually greet, leave it. Good. I'm going to make sure that the baby is upright, not laying down, and I'm going to let the dog investigate with my permission. Okay, go see. Good. Off. Good, off. And I allow him to move back and reinforce that too. I'm going to check the baby's diaper.
All right.
There. Go under there, buddy.
Because that's where you
Off.
enforced
Scent, a lot
pre-baby,
of scent.
going back to the diaper.
That's
and then,
correct. What we did prior to, and even holding that baby or the doll in a chair and a blanket when you're feeding it prior to the baby even arriving. So that way the dog learns how to settle and relax while you're engaged. Then I would go to the hand. Go see. Mummies are good too. Go see. Yes. Off. Good, off. So kisses are good. So in bed, off. Good. So I'd bring them and release them.
We're going to give you some more great tips. Avery, right here, baby Avery, what do you think? Not bad, huh? She's just sleeping through everything. We're going to actually introduce Mom, Jamie, right over here. She's going to tell us about her story. Please stay with us. We're going to tell you more about incorporating the new addition and your dog to make it one big happy family right here at McCann's. Please stay with us. Sweet dreams, my dear. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Morning Live, 7:51 right now.
It's not a great morning for man or beast outside, but inside, the beasts are having a lot of fun this morning.
With the babies.
Yes.
With the babies. And we're going to explain with the babies a little later on because the baby right now is just a little hungry. So we're going to continue to talk about obedience, which is another part of McCann's over here. What we're going to see is, you know what, just the basics like walking your dog. So once again, Jane, let's tell us what we're looking at right now.
What we're looking at right now, Lori, is the fact of working on a loose leash. And one of the things that is important when we walk our dog, especially when we add the segment with the baby into it too, is that the dog isn't pulling on leash. It can be treacherous in icy weather if you've got a large dog that lunges because they see a squirrel or something of interest. more importantly, it's unbelievable how many handlers have shoulder injuries from dogs pulling on leash. And as odd as it might be, even very small dogs have caused owners a lot of grief through pulling. So walking on a loose leash. What they're demonstrating right now is just maintaining a lie down so that you can also work stationary exercises with varied degrees of distraction. So whether it be other dogs moving, you can release and have your dog come to you and then regain control again. In a lot of scenarios, dogs being easily stimulated and certainly becoming stimulated in groups with activity, one of the biggest things for control is that you can turn your dog on and turn your dog off again by activity level. So we move, we sit, we lie down, we leave, we do recalls, which if you could envision being out and about, you're in the woods with your dog or in a park and exercising, you have the opportunity to give your dog that little bit of freedom and then come back to you again and remain under control.
We're going to show you some more activities that they do here at McCann, not only to have your dog obey, but also to make that relationship just a little more stress-free. Right now it's something called fly ball. Now fly ball was created right here at McCann's back in 1980, and also some of the top fly ballers were right here at McCann's. Not only do you teach the dogs speed, agility, how to focus, but the reason why it's also a team sport is because you have to develop a relationship between your dog and also with other dogs, because they have to pass the ball as well. And this is just one thing that they teach here at McCann. Now, not only do they teach that, but we also want to reinforce how they also teach obedience, and they have a program as well to help your newborn also introduce to your little family as well, just like Lulu. But Lulu's so cute though, Jamie. Let's just talk about what Lulu could do.
Good girl. Dancing.
It's just one of the little techniques that you can also learn right here at McCann's. Now, we mentioned about the new addition to the family.
Yes.
And one thing you're going to be doing, of course, is taking out the baby out with the stroller. What are some tips that you can give new moms and new parents out there and caregivers?
Well, what I have found helpful is that because the dogs aren't generally used to the stroller, so what I did prior to having the baby is I got the dogs comfortable with the stroller, walking along the park without the stroller, with the stroller without the baby, and then once I felt confident that the dogs were comfortable with the stroller, I added the dogs with them. So now we can go for walks with multiple dogs, and it's not an issue. The dogs walk on a loose leash.
Yeah, and they're not so scared because they were introduced.
They were introduced to it first.
And one other thing too is that always keep the baby elevated, and always, you're telling me, to supervise.
Yes. The best thing to do is when your dog is with the baby and you're not able to be with the baby, you want to make sure that you use your crate. So when you're not allowed to be, when you're not around your dog and the baby,
always make sure that there is something there.
Yes.
We're going to continue right here to have more fun here at McCann's. Please stay with us.
oh my God,
We'll
I'm
be
so
right
sorry.
Oh my God.
Back to McCann. Laurie has been up there playing around.
Reset it.
Where we're learning about agility. And this is just one major activity that your dog can also learn here at McCann's. Why is agility such an important sport?
Well, it's random. It's obstacle course. Every course is unique and different. Every single time, forever. It's really a challenge. The dogs love it. It's sort of the humans.
You were telling me too during commercial break that a lot of people don't realize that it's really about not only the dog, but about the human as well, because they have to have a little strategy and
Yes,
a plan.
they do. It's teamwork. It's teamwork. You have to plan ahead where you're going to be with your dog. Yeah, you can't go too fast. You can't go too slow. And each obstacle individually isn't that challenging, but when they make it an obstacle course, you never know where you're going next. It is really a challenge.
So it keeps everybody on their toes. Now, this is just a little aspect of McCann's. It's about, as we mentioned earlier, obedience, incorporating the dog to the family.
It's really about the family pet. Primarily, that's what we do. Is we teach dogs not to jump up on people, not to nip, not to bark. House training. Not only to relieve themselves outside, but to go on command. So you give them to empty before you go out for the day. We actually have a new service we just started, which is doggy daycare, with a difference, because we'll train the dog while it's here during the day. So you can get your dog home at the end of the day. It'll be tired, and better behaved.
And always had lots of love,
Lots
too.
of fun.
That's really, and you know, because every time when you leave your dog to someone, they're part of the family, so you want to make sure that they're in good care.
Yes, and we've got outstanding trainers here. We have 30 associate trainers and 16 full-time. We actually have a world champion. My daughter's out there running around. She won the World Championship of Dog Agility in 2006 in Holland. So
whether
it's a great
you want
sport.
your dog to be top dog or you just want your dog just to be obedient, they have it all here. We're going to continue with Morning Live coming up right after this.